Good morning or good afternoon or good evening, wherever you may be. I am speaking to you from a very empty church. This is part of the new paradigm we are living in, and it is my commitment to you at St. Edward's to try and still bring a few sermons and some ideas to help keep us connected during this time of quiet and a little bit of internal thinking. I, like the rest of you, have been sitting and watching the news and reading the updates of what is happening with the COVID-19 and its impact on the world and within our community. And I stand with my colleagues across the world in making sure that you understand that our number one priority is your health and safety. But I will be honest with you that it's made me really reflect upon the question that I remember from my clinical residency when I was in the hospital of where is God in this moment? I, like you, have caught myself full of fear and anxiety, worrying about what does the world hold for us right now? Where is God speaking, and how is God giving us some things to learn in this process? I think our fear and anxiety is rooted in the unknown. In modern history, we have not had a pandemic like this before, and we don't know how best to operate through that. And it's that unknown that gives us a lot of fear and anxiety. What will the world look like? How do we interact with each other? How do we respond to those daily tasks and schedules and routines that we work so hard in cultivating? And how do we respond to that now that they've been thrown all over the place? Our world is been turned over. We have gone from doing everything in the world and being with people everywhere to where we're being called to keep social distance, being called to avoid physical contact with one another, to be in public with one another, and that is presenting us a whole new set of challenges. But it is very easy to get caught up in the fear and anxiety. We see people, hoarding food and toilet paper and groceries and resources out of fear, and it made me wonder, where is God in this moment? I feel that if we believe in God and we believe in God's providence and that God will care for us, we need to place our trust in God. Now, that does not mean that we hand everything over to God and say, okay, God, and just wait and see what's going to happen. We do have a responsibility to ourselves and to our fellow humans of caring for one another. And we do this by washing our hands, keeping our hands from our faces, from keeping social distance, and unfortunately also canceling services in public for the time being. That is our responsibility. Those are the things that we can control within this process. But that still doesn't alleviate always our fear and our anxiety. And that's where we hand that off to God. We know, and God has proven throughout time, that God walks with us in times of fear, in times of joy, in times of normalcy. God's loving providence for us never fails. We need to trust in God at this moment. On Ash Wednesday, I challenged us with a very interesting idea. And that idea was to do nothing this Lent. To take away our calendars and find a few moments a day to spend time with God and listen to where God is speaking to us. And what an interesting time than what we've been handed to, where we're being called to come in and look inside of ourselves. A lot of us are working from home. A lot of us are not going out into the world as we have in the past. And it's offering us an opportunity to, as the Psalms tell us, be still and know that God is God. If we truly believe God is with us, then we need to trust that God will care for us. If we give our anxiety over to God, that will give us an opportunity to know and to trust in God's loving providence and care. My friends, I will tell you right now, we are going to be learning a lot from this time. We are learning new ways of doing ministry. We are learning new ways of taking care of one another. We're learning new ways of how we connect with one another, even in the midst of being called to quiet and to social distance. I encourage you to join us this coming Sunday, March 15th at 10 a.m., where we will be holding morning prayer via conference call. I also encourage you to come back to this website where I will be posting sermons and ideas and reflections. I encourage you also to keep track of your email because we will be sending updates from St. Edward's. The vestry and I are committed to continuing to communicate with each other through this process and to give you as much information as we have as soon as we have it. On a personal note, I will share with you, I do miss you. It is a very odd experience to speak to you as I'm looking at an empty church right now. But my heart is with you. My prayers are with you, and my love is with you. I encourage you to reach out to one another. Share your love, your fear, your joy that you have for the people in this community. It is often when we use words and make them real with one another that can help alleviate our fear and our anxiety. We will get through this. We will come through this stronger and full of love and compassion for one another. May we always realize that the God who has walked in front of us is the same God that walks behind us, and the same God that walks with us every single day. So as I close, I encourage you to please feel free to reach out to me via phone or email, and reach out to one another. We are here to walk with you and to be with you. And my friends, may God's love and peace always be with you through this Lenten time. And I look forward to the day where we can gather together and truly have an appreciation for the hugs that we give each other, and an appreciation for coming together to be able to celebrate the Eucharist and be in God's presence and in our presence with one another. My love is always with you, and may God's peace be with you. I will see you soon.